How you doing, people? How you doing? I thought I've just done my breakfast show, which is a bit of a gas in the morning. 8 till 10, Dougie Stone Radio. Just say Alexa, open internet radio, or go to DougieStoneRadio.com. But I thought I'd do a live over the weekend on Saturday. Was a year since Eleanor. How you doing? It's a year since I had my brain operation, and I'm not after sympathy. I'm just talking because there'll be people going through something similar now or in the future or whatever. But that bit of my skull has been removed, and it's now got epoxy resin in, and I've got a scar between there and about 13 centimeters. Now, the thing about it, I didn't know I had a tumor on my skull. Thank God it turned out not to be cancerous, but I found out because I had a stroke earlier on in the year, and then they did an MRI scan and says, "Oh, we don't like something on your skull." And I had to wait quite some time for the results to come back, about 7 weeks. So that's, I think, for anyone that's going through anything or has experienced anything, probably the worst part of it is not knowing what it is, and the waiting. The waiting is absolutely terrible. And I had a lot of support from my family, my friends, and Sandra was a massive support for me. And for me, it's more the other people, the family and the friends that are around you going through it. Do you know what I mean? It's you going through it is it's hard, but it's the people around you that it really truly affects. And yeah, you'll go, if you've gone on it, you'll go on a bit of a roller coaster ride from being like, I used to take the dog for a walk and just start laughing. I just used to start laughing because, like, what's this all about? And then you'll just go through to deep despair and crying and listening to things and thinking about your life and what's gone on. And it is a real roller coaster ride. And a lot of people said to me back at the time, "You're very brave." Now, I wasn't particularly brave, because what can you do? What in that situation? What can you do? You can curl up and give up and all the rest of it. I get that. Or you can hit it head on. You can hit it head on and just go with it. But there's not a lot you can do about it. You're in a situation, and it's how you control. It's totally how you control. It's in the control of whatever's going to happen to you. And thankfully, I had an operation, and that came back as not being anything nasty, as it were. But obviously, it does affect you. It takes you a while to get over it. And the people in the NHS and the nurses and the doctors are just absolutely fantastic. Last year, I'd hate to be someone going through it this year. I'd hate it me to be going through this year, because I'd probably be potentially put back as could have been not being urgent. I don't know. You know, I wasn't potentially life threatening at that time, although they didn't know what it was. So I just thought I'd wanted to come on and say, if anyone is going through it or has got something like that at the moment, then just stick with it and just keep getting up, just keep powering through it, because you don't know what's going to happen. It's how you control worry. Yes, you are going to worry, but just having that on your mind constantly is not good. And try and make the most of what you're doing. And that's why now, after that, a year on, try and enjoy myself as much as possible. Sandra says I didn't have many filters before, and now I've got none. I've got no filters. And people might take some of me posts, some of me views the wrong way, but life's too short to be dicking around. And if you've got an opinion or you want to do something, then do it. And hey, you know what I mean? It's when you face something like that, it changes you. It does change you. It's got to change, hasn't it? It's got to make you think totally different about things. And hopefully you don't have to wait until something like that happens for you to appreciate the simple things. You know, I'm not a massive fan of the winter time. I hate the dark nights, but I've come out this morning and the leaves have started to drop and the autumn colours are coming in, and that, you know, I mean, I'm very lucky to be seeing it. You know what I mean? A lot of people aren't seeing that right now. Yeah, not seeing that. They're not getting that cold snap in the morning. The things that we moan at, the little small things that we all moan. You know what I mean? Don't sweat the small stuff, people, because there's big stuff going on out there. So just enjoy it. Just enjoy life if you can. If you just don't wait until it's too late or until something really catastrophic or potentially life-changing hits you. Neil. But too many people are running around worried about nothing and bothered about crap and get all aerated about the wrong things. And I don't know. if you've been there, once you've been there, I mean, I've seen a lot of people go through it, and I've lost some really good friends over the years, and family to cancer, and it is absolutely terrible. It's a terrible, terrible thing. And you look at people and go, oh my God, how are you going through that? And I was just glad, in some respects, it was me, and it wasn't any of my kids or my grandkids or me other family members. And I said that I'm glad it's me, not you. Even though you're going through it, even worse, worried, I'm glad it's me, not you. I really, truly was. And all I say to you is, the people help you along the way, and people's support was fantastic. One of the biggest things for me was Brian Travers from UB40. He'd been on one of the shows on the station, and turned around on my timeline and says, Kurt, no surrender. And that was like a big turning point for me. For someone that I had idolised and thought was amazing band and grew up with, to say that, put that on my timeline, was just phenomenal. So everyone was really supportive. I had people in the States sending me messages and keeping me going. But at the end of the day, you're the person living through it, and you've got to find your own way to cope with it and get on with it and move forward. There'll be some ups, there'll be some downs, and hopefully whatever you're going through, you'll get through it. But just keep on going. Just keep getting up and keep going. Don't give up. You can't give up. It's not an option. It's not an option to go down. You've just got to get up. And I used to carry on doing my radio shows. I carried on doing my stuff. People probably online wouldn't even really realise there was anything going on, because there's an old saying, isn't there? 50% of people are glad it's not them, and the other 50% don't give a shit. Because generally people don't, apart from those. You soon find out what's important in life to you, who's important in life to you, and who's there and who's got your back when the crap hits the fan. So that's just me. Brain surgery. Yes. And I didn't know what was going to happen. There's three options. I'd come out okay, I'd die, or I'd come out and the operation would affect me in some way, which would mean that, I could have had a stroke, could have had all sorts of stuff. That was the risk, because I'd had a stroke early on. Yeah, I could have had another stroke. But like I said at the start, I'm not doing this to be sympathy. I don't want anyone's sympathy. I'm not into sympathy. I'm doing it because it might help someone who's going through it. Because a few months ago, a friend of mine, a colleague from years ago, sent me a message, and he'd had something, or he'd been for some tests, and potentially he had a growth in his brain, and it came to me for, how did he cope with it, how did he do this, how did he do that. So it's happening all the time, isn't it? So all the stuff that's going on in the media, and I put stuff on about the COVID-19 and about Trump and about Boris and all that. We can't affect any of it, can we? Can't affect none of it. I might say I don't agree with this. Can't affect it. I'm not affecting it. There's lots of things in life you can't affect. The sun will still come up and still go down every day. It'll rain, it might not rain, whatever. You know what I mean? That's half the time. There's no point worrying about stuff. And most of the time there's a way out of situations, isn't there? If it's like this, then you've got to rely on the expertise of the surgeon. My surgeon was absolutely brilliant. And a good friend of mine, Roger from Metal Man Fabs, said to me, Kurt, however you go down is how you're going to come up. And that was stuck in my head. So I had to go down, went down really calm. I was laughing and joking as they were putting me on the bed, and I came out laughing. Seriously, I came out laughing. I actually fist punched the surgeon, and I said, we fucking did it, team. And that was because I was just so relieved, even though I felt like crap. I was so relieved that it was all over and I could start recovering and start getting on with life. And I didn't want to see anybody for months. I just stayed on the couch for about nearly 6 months watching TV. I had a few hours in the morning because I was still recovering from a stroke, don't forget. And stroke fatigue is terrible. I had about 2 hours in the morning where I could actually focus on stuff and do things. And then after that, I was destroyed. I was knackered. And that's what you've got. That was the hardest thing for me, for someone who's very active, being unactive or inactive and not even feel like being active. Sam used to come home from work and say, come on, we need to get you out of the house, we need to get you around, get you back. I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to sit here. I'm quite happy watching this crap on the telly. D-Max, I think I was watching constantly throughout the day. But that was my way of recovering. That was my way of getting through it. And that was my way of coming back. So just beware if you've got family members who are going through something like that. Take them some time to recover, and they will be different when they come out. They will see the world differently. They will do things differently. So I just wanted to say, a year on, things are a lot better. Still things that affect me, but generally, I'm still here, still fighting, still rocking it, and still pushing on. So whatever you're going through, people, just keep rocking it, just keep going, and it might not be as bad as you actually think. The not knowing is worse than anything, and the wait is the worst than anything for anyone going through any sort of major operation or any trauma. It's the not knowing and what's going to happen to you. So anyway, that's for me. So whatever you're doing today, have a great day, people. Keep smiling, keep pushing through. I'm Kurt from Dougie Stone Radio. Come and join me 8 till 10 every morning for the Brekkie Show, or on a Monday night, the Country Music Show. Because even though all that stuff was going on, it made me realise what I was doing, the station we set up and all the stuff around it was exactly the right thing I wanted to be doing. I didn't think to myself, why am I doing this? I should be doing something else. It's fell over. That just sums it up, doesn't it? That just sums it up. Battery must be going in my stand. Anyway, I'm going to go. I've got stuff to do. It's gone again. Yeah, my battery's going in this. I better hold it up. Anyway, you have a great day. Stay safe. Keep rocking it. I'm out of here.